During the celebration of our engagement, an unfamiliar woman entered and placed an envelope in my hands. Before I had a chance to respond, she vanished. When I looked inside, my world collapsed. My fiancée hurried over to me. As soon as she glimpsed the contents, tears welled up in her eyes. Without uttering a single word, I turned and left. That evening, messages poured in from her friends. "What did you do? My name is Connor. I'm 31 and work as a civil engineer, creating bridges and public works projects for a medium-sized company in Pennsylvania. The job compensates generously, and I've always taken pride in the structures I've designed, both in my career and in my private life. Or so I believed. 3 months earlier, I asked Lauren to marry me. We had shared 4 years together. She held a position as a marketing specialist at a growing tech company, exceptionally skilled at connecting with others and always finding the right words. She was adored by everyone around her. I adored her too. The proposal took place at her beloved park beside the lake, one Sunday evening toward the end of September. I arranged for a small boat rental, positioned a photographer discreetly among the trees, and when the sunlight reached that ideal warm glow, I knelt down. She wept. I wept. Even her mother shed tears when we shared the news with her later that night. It seemed flawless, as though all my efforts were finally aligning. We scheduled the engagement gathering for the beginning of December at a charming venue in the city center. Lauren took charge of nearly all the arrangements. She excelled at those details, organizing spreadsheets, contacting suppliers, mapping out seating arrangements. I contributed wherever possible. Compiling the invitation list, deciding on food options, selecting drinks for the bar. Roughly 70 guests were invited, college friends, colleagues, relatives. It was meant to mark the start of our shared future. The event fell on a Saturday evening. I recall the exact date, December 7th, because it marked precisely 3 months since the proposal. The location featured tall windows stretching from floor to ceiling with views of the skyline, gentle golden lighting, and a solo acoustic guitarist in the corner, performing versions of tracks we both cherished. Lauren chose a deep blue dress that made her appear ready for a photo shoot. I wore a dark gray suit that my brother had assisted me in selecting. During the opening hour, we greeted arrivals, posed for pictures, and chuckled at early congratulations that weren't even formal toasts yet. My mother repeatedly drew me aside to meet far-off family members whose names I'd long forgotten. Lauren's closest friend teased endlessly about upcoming bridal gown fittings. The atmosphere felt cozy and genuine. Around 7:45 p.m., I stood by the bar chatting with my closest friend, Tyler, regarding an approaching work deadline. He was describing his recent advancement when the entrance door swung open. A stranger stepped inside. A woman perhaps in her late 20s, dark hair tied neatly in a ponytail, dressed casually in jeans and a dark jacket. She clearly didn't fit the occasion. She appeared anxious, her fingers trembling. She moved directly toward me. Tyler halted his story abruptly. I observed her coming closer, puzzled, attempting to recall if we'd ever met. College acquaintance, accompanying someone, she halted roughly 3 feet from me and extended a plain manila envelope. "Connor," she said softly yet firmly. "Yes," I replied, "you have to look at this." Before I could inquire about her identity or purpose, she pushed the envelope into my grasp and spun away. She exited swiftly, as though worried she might reconsider. I remained frozen, clutching it, while murmurs spread and nearby discussions quieted. The guitarist continued strumming a mellow indie tune in the distance. Tyler leaned closer. Who was she? No clue. I glanced at the envelope. My first name appeared on the front in blue pen. No other markings, no sender details, no note. I tore it open. The contents included printed chat logs, message threads, financial records, pictures, arranged meticulously, resembling a compiled dossier. The initial printout showed a messaging exchange between Lauren and a contact labeled simply A. The history stretched back several months, April, May, June. The language wasn't mildly playful. It was intensely graphic. Arrangements for rendezvous, details of past encounters, desires for future ones, phrases she had never directed toward me. My insides twisted violently. Next came a financial record bearing Lauren's name. Payments listed to a place called the Grandview Inn, located roughly 20 minutes beyond city limits. Repeated charges spanning the prior 6 months. consistently on the same weekday, Thursdays, typically midday to early afternoon, between 50 and 70 such entries from June through November. Then a photograph. Lauren with an unfamiliar man at an al fresco table, his palm resting over hers. Her expression radiated genuine joy, the exact smile I once believed belonged only to me. The date stamp showed 2 weeks prior, a Thursday when she had claimed to stay late refining a presentation for a prospective client. Additional messages followed on later pages. Fresh exchanges from the previous week. Can't wait until Thursday to see you. You've been on my mind nonstop today, me too. Keeping this secret is becoming impossible, I understand. We'll sort it out somehow. I promise I forgot how to inhale. Lauren noticed my expression and rushed across from the opposite side, where she had been chatting with her attendants beside the suite's display. Connor, what's wrong? You seem terrified. I stayed silent. I simply passed her the documents. She scanned them. Her complexion drained of color, then flushed deeply. Tears brimmed in her eyes. She lifted her gaze to mine, then back to the pages, then to me once more. Her lips parted without sound. Connor, I raised my palm to stop her. I refused to listen, not in that moment. Not surrounded by 70 guests gathered to honor our commitment. Not with my mother present. Not with her father, who had toasted an hour earlier about his delight in gaining me as family. I pivoted and headed for the exit. No words, no confrontation, I simply departed. Behind me, her voice cracked as she called out. Connor, hold on, please, allow me to clarify. I continued onward. I stepped through the main entrance into the chilly December night. My vehicle waited 2 streets over. I climbed inside and began driving. Destination unknown. I just kept moving. My grip trembled on the wheel. My pulse hammered fiercely, threatening to burst free. Update 1 that night, I arrived at Tyler's place. He had trailed me from the venue, attempting to intercept me at the entrance, but I insisted on solitude. He respected my wish without argument, simply nodding. An hour afterward, he messaged to check my location, and I eventually replied. No probing questions, just doors open, still at the venue assisting with cleanup, arriving in 20. I settled onto his sofa, gazing blankly ahead. No tears fell, no outburst of fury, only emptiness, a void, as though every emotion had been carved away, leaving only an outline. Near 11 p.m., notifications flooded my device. Message upon message, from Lauren's circle, her attendants, individuals I once regarded as friends as well. What happened? Lauren is falling apart. Return immediately. She claims you embarrassed her publicly. Whatever you believe occurred, it's mistaken. It was a single error. Don't discard 4 years. I ignored them all. I powered down my phone and attempted rest on his couch. Sleep refused to come. I remained awake, eyes fixed upward, mentally reviewing each Thursday across those 6 months. Each supposed overtime session, each urgent project close. Each occasion she arrived exhausted and retreated directly to rest. Morning arrived with 43 unanswered calls, primarily Lauren. Several from her mother. One from mine, inquiring what on earth transpired since Lauren phoned her near midnight in tears, claiming I had deserted her during our celebration. I dialed my mother initially. I described the situation fully. I recited portions of the conversations aloud. She stayed silent for an extended period. Finally, oh sweetheart, I'm deeply sorry. Truly sorry. I mentioned needing time and promised to reconnect soon. Then I switched off again. Tyler returned near 10 a.m. bearing coffee and breakfast rolls. We sat quietly a while until he inquired, do you know the other person's identity? Not at all. Any idea who delivered the envelope? None. Planning to investigate. In time, he nodded, sipping slowly. Considering legal help? The thought hadn't crossed my mind. Unmarried, yet cohabiting 2 years. Joint rental agreement on a 2-bedroom unit downtown. Combined account covering rent, bills, groceries, utilities, shared fitness pass. Her name listed on my auto policy. Complications awaited. Likely, I answered. Later that day, I returned to our shared residence while she was absent. Using Tyler's device, I messaged her about my arrival and requested she step out. Her reply came instantly. Can we please discuss this directly? I left it unanswered. Upon entering, she had departed. Yet reminders remained, small adhesive notes affixed to the mirror, fridge, coffee machine. Each bearing identical pleas, I'm sorry, please speak with me, I love you. I collected clothing, computer essentials, vital papers, my grandfather's timepiece. I placed my key on the counter alongside a brief message: I require distance. Refrain from reaching out. I remained at Tyler's for the following 7 days. Update 5 days afterward, an unrecognized caller rang. I nearly ignored it, yet instinct prompted me to accept. Connor, the voice belonged to the woman from the gathering. Who is speaking? I questioned. I'm Bryn. I had been involved with someone. His name is Aaron. He holds a role at Lauren's company. I discovered her existence 3 weeks back while examining his device after repeated late arrivals. I apologize for my approach at your event, but I couldn't devise another method to inform you. He refused to cease contact, so did she? I challenged him repeatedly. He insisted it had concluded, yet it persisted. I believed you deserved the truth. I sank onto Tyler's sofa, thoughts swirled. They share a workplace? Correct. He's in charge of creative direction. Their involvement began in June, possibly earlier, uncertain. I located the exchanges in November, though earlier ones existed. I captured images before deletion became possible. June. Our engagement occurred in September. The infidelity preceded my proposal, preceded the weeks I devoted to crafting the ideal moment, preceded my conversation seeking her father's approval. Why not phone me directly? I inquired. I lacked your contact. I located your identity via Lauren's social media. Noticed her post about the upcoming celebration 3 weeks prior. I worried private outreach might be blocked or dismissed as falsehood by her influence. Messengers in these situations often face disbelief. I acted rashly, believed presenting evidence publicly and directly would force acknowledgement. I'm truly regretful. I realize it likely caused deep embarrassment. Words escaped me initially. Eventually I offered, thank you, for bringing it to light. I ended things with him, she murmured, that very evening. Following my departure from your venue, I confronted him at his residence. He prepared for sleep as though routine remained intact. I displayed the celebration snapshot from social media and revealed my awareness. He confessed fully, claimed it held no significance, insisted he loved me, described her as merely accessible. Yet I found it impossible. I could no longer continue. I'm sorry, I responded. Likewise, she said. The call ended. I lingered in silence afterward. Then I contacted Lauren. She answered instantly. Connor, please allow me to clarify. Aaron, I stated, creative lead, commencing June. A prolonged pause followed, heavy and thick. Since when have you been aware? She breathed. Is the timing relevant? Connor, I committed an error. It was foolish. It carried no weight. I love you. I desire our marriage, our envisioned future. A harsh, unfamiliar laugh escaped me. You maintained intimacy with him throughout my preparations for our life ahead. I understand completely. I'm profoundly regretful. It has concluded. I severed ties 2 days prior. I promise, please, might we meet and discuss? Face to face? I'll address every inquiry. I'll take any step necessary. No, Connor, it's finished, Lauren. We are finished. You cannot mean that. But I do. After years together, Connor, years, and you would discard it all. I discarded nothing. You did. Across every Thursday for half a year, she began weeping. It represented a lapse. A solitary lapse. Everyone falters occasionally. It encompassed far more than one, countless instances, endless lies concerning your whereabouts, endless messages exchanged. Endless returns home followed by kisses as though fidelity remained unbroken. I'm sorry, she cried, deeply sorry. As am I disconnected. 2 days afterward, her mother messaged, you're committing an error. She genuinely loves you. Don't discard 4 years because of a single misstep. Individuals evolve, she shattered. Her father and I instilled stronger values, and she recognizes her wrongdoing. Offer her opportunity to repair. I blocked the number, then blocked Lauren's as well. Update 3 mid-December brought the hiring of counsel. Though unmarried, the rental agreement and joint finances created entanglements. My attorney, Patricia, a seasoned professional in her 50s, recommended immediately separating the shared finances and transferring my share. I complied. Lauren attempted contact 17 times that day via alternate lines. I ignored them, blocked those too. She further suggested preserving documentation, retain the envelope, maintain transaction logs, capture communications. I followed each instruction. By the holiday, I relocated to a modest 1-bedroom unit nearer my workplace, peaceful, unfurnished, plain walls. a borrowed sleeper sofa from Tyler until furniture arrived. No decorations seemed worthwhile. My mother volunteered assistance in settling in, but I preferred handling it independently. Tyler extended a Christmas invitation with his relatives, which I politely declined. Solitude felt necessary. I ordered takeout and viewed classic films alone on my device. It ranked among the most isolated holidays I had experienced. On New Year's Eve, while browsing, an Instagram request appeared from Aaron. I realize hatred toward me is likely. I merely wished to express regret. Our actions with Lauren were inexcusable. I accept complete accountability. It originated innocently at the office before crossing boundaries. For whatever value it holds, she truly cares for you. She mentioned you constantly. She erred gravely. We both did. I wish you might eventually pardon her. She's fundamentally decent despite this failure. I contemplated the words extensively. A portion of me considered replying to voice my contempt directly, yet I concluded it held no meaning. His statements altered nothing. I blocked the account. Mid-January, I encountered one of Lauren's attendants, Kimberly, at a nearby cafe. She noticed me, paused, then approached. "Hi, Connor, hi. How have you been managing?" She adjusted nervously, holding her drink tightly. "Listen, this isn't my role, but Lauren struggles significantly. She's deeply down, rarely ventures outside. Therapy has begun. She acknowledges her wrongdoing, attempts improvement. I sipped my beverage. Her state no longer concerns me. I understand, truly. Yet her affection for you persists. The actions were terrible, yet humans err. She's imperfect. She demonstrated love poorly. Kimberly stared into her cup. I urged her against it. In July, I witnessed them dining and questioned her. She insisted it involved only work. Lunch, I accepted because I preferred belief. I ought to have informed you. My apologies, I lacked response. Merely nodded. She offered no further words. Simply touched my arm lightly before departing. Final update: nearly 3 months have passed since that gathering. Lauren and I have exchanged no words since the December call. Mutual acquaintances report she resigned from the tech firm in January. Apparently, Aaron departed a week earlier under unclear circumstances. Whispers suggest HR intervention followed awareness of their involvement. Whether contact continues remains unknown. It holds no importance to me. Bryn contacted me once more late January. We met at a quiet downtown cafe. She reiterated regret over her delivery method. I assured her no apology was needed. On the contrary, gratitude felt appropriate. She prevented a far greater error. Committing to marriage with someone lacking respect for me. Conversation lasted beyond an hour. Her recovery progresses. She has advanced. Therapy continues, exploring dating cautiously. Not close companions, yet occasional messages pass between us. Comfort exists in conversing with someone who comprehends sudden betrayal by a trusted partner. I parted with the ring in February. Visited multiple appraisers until securing reasonable compensation. Absorbed roughly 30% loss, yet remained indifferent. Those funds secured a solitary journey to Colorado in March. Space to reflect, escape surroundings, absorb mountain simplicity. The current lease concludes in April. Lauren consented to my purchase of her share. Legal matters proceeded without direct interaction. Patricia noted her cooperation, perhaps even eagerness to conclude. Her current residence is unknown. I inquire with no one. Anger lingers at times. Not violent outbursts, merely a steady, underlying burn that hinders trust. Yet progress occurs. Therapy sessions now occur with Dr. Harrison, experienced in recovery from disloyalty. Reconstructing continues, discovering my identity apart from the partnership I once nurtured. My mother occasionally wonders about future relationships. I reply, possibly, not presently. Perhaps eventually when trust rebuilds. Many inquire whether forgiveness might arrive. Truthfully, uncertainty remains, possibly someday, not on her behalf, for my own peace, to release resentment. For now, forward motion takes priority. Defining Connor independently of wedding preparations or shared dreams with someone who undervalued that bond. Walking away brings no regret. Regret lies in missing earlier indicators, overlooking subtle clues. Phone always screened down upon my entrance. Fresh scent introduced in July. Renewed gym enrollment after prolonged inactivity. Betrayal, however, reveals itself most sharply afterward. Tyler observes improvement. Notes increased smiles compared to December, perhaps accurate. Familiarity returns gradually. Or perhaps a revised self emerges, slightly warier, yet clearer regarding deserved treatment. I manage adequately, not splendidly, yet sufficiently, and for the moment that suffices. Edit 1 Several inquired about the celebration aftermath. Non-refundable deposits totaled around $4,000. Lauren's parents absorbed most costs after my departure. I proposed sharing responsibility. They declined, insisted fault rested elsewhere. I accepted gratefully, though it eased nothing truly. Edit 2 For the curious, yes, the envelope remains preserved, uncertain of the precise reason. Perhaps a cautionary token, perhaps reluctance to discard evidence. It rests in a drawer beneath financial papers, untouched since that evening. Its presence reassures somehow, confirms reality. Affirms sanity. Edit 3 One person questioned Bryn's timing, why the event rather than earlier. She explained later, weeks of